All right, so this is how easy it is to create very cool thumbnails, just like this one. And there's plenty of others that I created here. But these ones I don't really love too much, but there are a few here that are very good. So for example, here, any of these are cool. This one looks very cool as well. Let me see if I can select it. Okay, there you go. This one looks very cool as well. I ended up not using this one. I used a different one. I think it was this one because it's the style that I wanted. But let's go ahead and understand a few things about how to make this happen. So this is the boring part, but stay to the end because if you master this, it's going to be better. An image is composed by a few elements. The first is the background. The second is going to be the main element. Then is the composition. And then is going to be the details. Okay. Also, within the details, there are a few things. Okay. There is the environment detail. There is the color palette detail. And then there's the style detail. Okay. Now, why does this matter? Because when we are analyzing this, we need to give the AI all these details to make sure that we have what we are looking for. Okay, this is the secret sauce. So if we take a look at this image here, we have the background is going to be a dark blue or a black or a rich black. Okay, so we need to let them know we want a black or a rich black background. Then the main element, right? The main element in these specific cases are going to be this text and this icon. Okay, so we say on left side we have the main element, which is bold text, and we tell him what we want to do. And then on the right side we have the second main element, which is a representation image of an AI assistant engineering. And then we do so when we have the main elements and all that stuff, we do the composition, which was what I already did, right? Left side, right side, we give them the composition. Then we give them the details, right? So the details, we have the environment details, we have the color details, we have the style details. So for environment, if you take a quick look here, we can definitely see we have fog, we have lights, right? We have lights going through the fog here, there. So we are going to add those two elements, thick fog, and then light rays going through the fog. And then we have colors. So I want green and I want orange. And then the style, in this specific case, I gave it a glass morphism style and also kind of cybernetic illustration. Okay, so illustration is a style, cybernetic, and all that stuff. Okay, so this is very, very important to do because that way we can understand how we can change and shift. So what's the difference between this one and that one? This one, he's a lot more darker composition than this one. Then this one here has a different style of letters. So in this case, we have borders, right? So we can say text with borders highlighted in green, green from orange to green, right? And then on the right side, we have a brain illustration in glass morphism. And then we also have these details right here with cybernetic or with digital vibes or something like that, or hacking vibes, something like that, right? So this is where everything starts. Is from the boring stuff, which is the composition. Now let's learn exactly how to do the second part, which is the technical part. So the technical part is actually the easiest one. In this specific case, I already had this image that I wanted, and I wanted this image to be within the same branding as this one, because this is the AI funnelpreneur that we have right here. So if you guys don't know what this is my wife and mine latest course where we teach you how to do the vibe coding. And by the way, this entire platform is vibe coded as well. So all this stuff that we have right here is a platform customized to what we need and all that stuff. But we teach you how to do platforms, we teach you how to do sales pages, we teach you how to do a bunch of different things, vibe coding the right way. Okay, she has a coding background, over a decade of being a programmer, and I have a funnel building and marketing background, so we combine those two into one. So let's go back to the situation, right? I already had this image, but now we need a few things. So we need an assistant, okay? And by the way, I am using Freepik Spaces. So if you go to Freepik right here, you go to All Tools, you're gonna go Others and Spaces. You just click there, and then you can create a space. I have plenty of spaces right here, right? Standard test and all that stuff. So you click spaces, you create one space. And now the very first thing we want to do is left click, and we want to do an assistant. The main reason why we want to do the assistant is because it is going to help us create a better prompt. Okay, we give them the basics, which I mentioned, which is the background, the main elements, the composition, the details, and then it's going to add it as a good prompt. The next thing, we want these nodes, we want connected to an image generator in this specific case. You also have voiceover, sound effects. You have a bunch of different things right here. SVG generator, like SVG is very good for icons, for example. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and do image generator. Now, inside this image generator, we are not going to describe anything. We are just going to select the model that we want. We can do auto, especially if you are new to this. Go for auto and do a bunch of practices to try to see which ones represent more of your style. So Google Imagen is very good for a few things. Nanobanana very good for a different set of things. Ideogram very good for a different set of things. Grok is also surprisingly very good as well. Another one very good is Seed Dream, and then yeah, that's basically the ones that I use the most. And then you have cinematic for a few things. But in cinematic, you actually need to know how to customize. I'm not going to take too much time with that. Okay, so in this specific case, I'm going to do auto, just because. But if you have a lot of text and stuff like that, you could go for Nano Banana. Any of these are going to be a good fit. So here is the resolution that you want, or yeah, the resolution that you want, 1:1, 16:9. So if you want to go for a thumbnail, go for 16:9. And then here, just add like 4 so that you can build more at a time, so they have more examples. So one thing that is very important here, so this is the entire structure that you need, right? Super simple, right? So the next thing that we need is make sure that you change the GPT-5 to Gemini 3.1. This is very important because the difference output is like super like extraordinary. You can also use Claude Opus if you want, or any of these. The main difference here is going to be the change, like the change of how long does it take to think. In this specific case, for this one, video, audio, image, very good. I use all of this stuff. So Gemini, very cool. It also receives information on the background. I'm going to add different video tutorials later. I don't really worry about it. So the very first thing that I want is I want to create a thumbnail. So create a thumbnail style image where, let's go for background. We have a dark, whatever, like maybe we can create something different. We can do a dark background. Then let's go ahead and add a text and maybe add like a robot or something, right? So a dark background. As the main elements, we have on the left side big bold letters in neon style. This was saying this is awesome. Border orange color, and then also make sure to add it a bit of glossy effect. Okay, on the left side, right side, sorry, on the right side, we have a robot in the style of I don't know. So now it's sort of rusty, futuristic slash left to rot kind of in the style of rusty, futuristic, or left to rot kind of way. And then we can have some details like what we want to add. So we can add the environment should be resembling a lost desert, um, brown terrain with dust floating in the air, blue sky with fog and thick clouds, mixed colors between white and gray. And then we can have at the distance we see other machinery, and we see other planets in a very opacity way in the sky. Okay, and then big orange sun with explosions, with sun ray explosions, bright orange. And then I know this is boring, right? But I'm just explaining you the process. Orange, and there you go. Okay, so now Gemini 3, all we want to do, export as text, not as a list, and then we hit run right here. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to hit run from here because he's going to run this. He's going to make it better, and then after he's done, he's going to go for the image generator. So run from here. I'm using 0 credits here for some reason, but it's fine. This takes a little bit. You can see it's thinking, and then the image generator is in queue. So I'm going to pause the video here so I save you a little bit of time, but it usually takes around a minute or so to do. So as you can see here, right? I actually didn't pause yet. As you can see here, you have the prompt in a prompt way, kind of verbiage. And now here we have the images. Now the thing about what you see here, you see all these bunch of images here, right? It's just because it's built in a different way. Right now, Freepik, what he does, he has image generator, and then he does this list where he adds everything here. Okay, and that's fine. That's fine. You know, we can make it happen this way. I don't really love too much this way. I actually prefer to have it spread out, so you can do it this different way later. But just so you can see everything and all that stuff. Okay, so now we have these images. Now, do they look awesome? Not quite, right? But we can see the planets. We can see the thick fog, the clouds, the dust, the robots, far away machinery. This is awesome, done, right? This one is respecting a little bit more, but it's not really what we want here, right? So now what we want to do, first of all, is you want to go to here, and you want to understand that this one is ideogram, right? This one, ideogram as well, I believe. There you go. This one, ideogram. This one, ideogram. So you used ideogram for all of them? Yeah, there you go. So now what you want to do, and I'm going to keep items, by the way. What you want to do is you want to test the various styles. Okay, so I'm going to go for example, C-Dream 4.5, for example, right? And now when we re-roll from here, he's going to re-roll from this one right there, and it's going to generate these new images from here. Okay, so we can run 6. So now he's not going to add there, or we can run from here and he's going to add it there. Okay, so let's go ahead and run. And when we run 6, he's not going to add there. He's going to add 6 big kind of blocks, I do believe. Okay, he's actually adding there now. Okay, that's fine, no problem. So we just wait. I don't even know if it's worth the pause because now they are being quite fast. But since I'm using, yeah, there we go. So we have the first one right here. So much better. The only thing I don't like is the text. So here's the cool thing about it, right? Now because you know how it is built, the first phase, the backgrounds, main elements, etc. Now you can actually go ahead and fix the parts that you don't really like. So I like the terrain, I like the dust, I like the clouds, I like the sun, I like the planets. I don't really love the explosions there. He didn't really understand the explosions that I want, so I need to rephrase it a little bit. I like the Dusty Robots, Left to Rot. That works fine as well, but I just don't really love this text. So what I want to do is I want to change it. So I want to adapt it. Okay. So this one again, love it. It's a lot more of what I want, but still I don't really love it too much. No, a little bit better, but still not really. A lot better, but still not what I want or what I'm looking for. This one is much better. Like this one, it will be almost perfect. Now, there's a few things that we could do here, which could add a little bit more dark ambient as well to make it a lot better. But this one here is the one that I would say, yeah, I like this. I would use this one. That's one thing that I don't really like lowercase. So I would go here to the prompt, and then instead of this is awesome, I will do this is awesome. Style saying this is awesome in big bold letters in neon style, saying border orange. Also make sure to add a bit of glossy effect and glass morphism. Okay, so now let's go ahead and hit run from here, and then he's going to go ahead and repeat everything. So he's going to take the new variant, and then he's going to change, he's going to think about it, and then he's going to change it, and it's going to add to the other one. Okay. Now you can create references. Once you find the one that you like, you can go ahead and create references. You could create quick connections here if you also would like to, because then from there you have these nodes here. So you can go ahead, once you have the one that you like, you don't really need to be so specific, because you can go ahead and just create it from there. So once this is done, I'm actually going to show you a different space that I have for my own thumbnails that I use for my YouTube, which, by the way, let me share that with you. So I don't know if you are watching this on YouTube or not, but if you are not, go follow my YouTube channel. I do talk more about this, and I have other stuff, but if you see, I've been just using AI imagery from this video here. So this video was my first AI image about a year ago, and then a few more. I tested different styles, just I was messing around and see, but all this is just AI. I didn't change anything. You see how this one is so dramatic? I was testing that as well. And I can see here all the stuff, so different styles. I'm just playing around and trying to find what is the one that I like the most, what's my vibe. So I don't take that part too serious. So I'm not really looking for views or stuff. This is just for my audience, so that's fine. I don't care about SEO and stuff. So, yeah. Now, this is awesome. The glass morphism here is terrible. I don't like it. This is awesome. So there's a little bit of a problem with how he's displaying the letters, but here the glass morphism is okay. Okay, so that's fine. So let's go ahead and fix it. So there's a little bit of a difference in display. So let's go ahead and do it. This is awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead. Can we click? Okay, done. So here, this is awesome, where the text is divided by this is on the top part, and awesome right below it. Border, make sure glossy glass morphism, and these letters must be on an old billboard. We could add like Western style or something like that, but the old billboard, it's not even correctly written, but billboard, rusty, PC's falling down. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and run from here. Now, have in mind that we have like around 20 minutes right now. Once you find the style, and this is very important, once you find the style for your projects, then everything is much faster, because you can just utilize those images as reference, and then you just give them new elements, and boom, 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 everything is much, much faster. So instead of taking 20 minutes to do this, we are creating the setup. You are going to take around 3 minutes per image, and that's going to be much faster, as you can imagine, right? And this is Dream, by the way. We can use Google Nano Banana. We can test other different modules as well. Okay, so okay, this one is better. There's something here that is making like a split screen. Okay, but this one is cool, right? So this one is cool. I like that. I would use this one. This one not as much. This one not as much. I would also use this one. You see how this is awesome? This is awesome. This is awesome. This like these ones I would use it, and there you go. Then I would find the ones that I want, and I would just select it, and I would just download this one as reference and use it and drop it right here as reference. Okay, but I'll leave that to a different one. And have in mind that we are using Dream. Now we can go ahead and we can test with Nano Banana 2, for example, right? So let's go ahead and run from here. So let's go ahead and run from here, and let's see what it creates, and how different the styles are, because yeah, they are going to be different. Now, Nano Banana is going to be a little bit slower, probably, but have in mind, I haven't stopped the video once. Okay, I haven't stopped the video once. You are seeing the images being created live, so it doesn't take too much time, which is fine, which is nice. But yeah, so at the end of the day, here's how you construct these things. First is you want to understand how the images are built with the background, the main elements of the image, the composition, how things are going to be added. And by the way, if you have more technical descriptions, like for example, you can study these from photography. Go find different photography compositions and study the terminology. That's going to be a lot more accurate. Okay, so you have the composition, you have the details, the environment, the colors, the style of what you want to do, that stuff. Then that's the first part. And once you nail everything, like the style you want and all that stuff, then you can use the second part is building everything, and then the third part is just really adding the image as reference and build all the other images that you want, utilizing the same one and just changing the main elements that you want to change. So as you can see here, these ones are taking a little bit longer, as I mentioned before, because Nano Banana 2 is going to take it's going to take longer than the previous ones. But you can see here the difference. This one was not really bad. I actually like these ones. These ones here, just like these two, this one and that one was very good. This one, let me see. It's kind of cool, different style. Don't really love this. This one, I do like it. Okay, I just think that the sun is just taking too much space, but I do like it. And they actually, this one actually managed to add the machinery here quite better. You see the machinery on these ones? They're quite better than these ones. These are just robots, right? But here is actually the machinery. So this module actually nailed that part. This one also added the machinery there. So, but this one is much better, like much better. Let's see if they completed. I think so. No, they just added two. There's still four or three to go. There's another one here. Yeah, so this one, don't like it, like it. I prefer this one. I don't really like this one. I prefer this one. Although here I can see these elements here. I actually like these elements on the terrain a lot better. So what I could do is on the next image, I could add a lot more rusty parts mixed with the terrain and grains. So that will be, be more specific with what you want. But yeah, this is the thought process around it. It doesn't take a long time. It just at first is gonna take a lot of time because you are getting acquainted with the process, you are testing it out, and you are going to get acquainted with the verbiage and also with the different styles of the LLMs, because they are quite different, and that's going to make a huge difference. Another thing that I do, let's just wait for this to complete, but another thing that I do is, so this one I don't love this one. Another thing that I do is, um, add like six here, like six of these blocks, all connected to the assistant, and like two of them, I do a pair of two. Two of them have Nana Banana, two of them have Sea Dream, two of them have Cinematic, whatever, right? And then from there, I see which one has the style that I'm looking for. Okay, because sometimes it's just a little bit of a difference, but makes a huge difference. Okay, so that's what I would do. Now, I'm not going to wait for this one to finalize because we already got the point. So let's go ahead and see. I'm messing things up here. 1 second. Control 0, I guess. Well, I just messed things up here. Okay, getting back to normal, I guess. No. Let me reset this. All right, cool. So I just reset it because I just zoomed on the interface instead of the other side. So, for example, if I go to the spaces, and this is just to finalize the video, as you can see here, I do have some mockups here, okay, where they are quite different, but I use specific images like these ones. I use specific images to create, from this mockup to create the environment and stuff like that. Also, using these images here to create. I didn't like any of these, to be honest, but selecting these three images to create that kind of effect. And then lastly, we also have videos. Let me see if I can find. Oh, I also have these. Like, these are very cool. You see these ones? These are very cool, and I created a few. Like, these are very, very cool, right? So I actually use this one. They are very, very cool. So you can also be very creative with them. And then lastly, where are the videos? Oh, these are the videos. Okay, I just need to play them. Guys, so create these videos. This one sucks. I don't like it. Let's see this one. This one is a little bit better. So you can create these mock-up videos. There you go. So you can create these mock-up videos. There's tons of things that you can do. Anyway, I digress. But this is what I do. And lastly, let me show you the last thumbnail. The real one that I use. So for example, here I have all these images as examples. I have this picture and that picture just so he nails my face, and he understands who am I. And then here, as you can see, I've created 98 different images here, right? So I've created 98 for all different things. I tested, adjust. This one is actually one that I used. And this one is Sea Dream. This one is Sea Dream 4.5, 5 light, 5 light. Here we have Nano Pro. Here we have Cinematic. Here we have Nano Pro 2. So, yeah, that's what I do. Hope you like it. If you want to learn more about AI, definitely join or consider joining the beta on this, because this course is absolutely bonkers. It's amazing. It's like something that you've never seen. I guarantee you. Not a lot of people are talking about AI like we are. So I invite you to join it. If you have any questions, just let me know.